easier time uh, getting into relationships, getting engaged, and getting married. Now, hold on, I'm not done talking. Statistics, various newspaper articles, men of various races, especially black men, will have you believing that it's because black women are not desirable, we're not smart, we don't make good partners, which is actually not true. We're the most educated human beings on the planet. We are the beauty standard, despite the fact that media tries to gaslight us and make us think that we are not. And studies have proven that we are actually amazing partners. If you comment right here, you're going to be loud and wrong. Just keep listening. But there's something very important that a lot of these studies leave out when they try to make it seem like white women are just so much amazingly more easy to be wifed up. One of the reasons why black men tend to veer on the side of snow bunnies is they think it's some kind of status symbol, although the preferences do not get preferential treatment. They often get treated way worse than they would ever treat a black woman. A lot of white women who get with black men are doing so out of rebellion because their parents were racist, which I'm about to dive into. And that is the reason why a lot of those relationships fail. It's a statistical fact.
All right. So before we let the black Karen continue here, she's talking about that more black men are starting to date more white women and marry more white women at a higher tick. And she wanted to give her opinion why, which she looks like he never mind. We won't go there. With that being said, it's weird that she went from one area and then she's starting to kind of veer towards racism and things of that nature. With that being said, as I was watching this video, I was actually listening to it. I was looking at the comments, and one of the comments said this. I'm gonna read it to you from my phone because it's actually pretty long. So I'm gonna read it to you. And this is from an African American woman who was looking at this video and was actually responding. And this is what she said. She said, I'm a black woman and I believe white women are generally raised to be wives, which makes them more agreeable and submissive. It may not be their true character, which may explain divorce and other issues down the line, but they typically understand the assignment in order to achieve the goal, which is marriage. So I want to first talk about the highest divorce rate now. If you go look at statistics, it's actually lesbians marriage. Woman on woman is actually the highest divorce rate now. So go look that up when you guys get a chance. But it goes on to say this. She said, I can honestly say I was raised that way. Instead, I wasn't raised that way. Instead, I was raised to value my education and to be independent. Goes into her dialogue about why black women are the most highly educated. When they say the most highly educated, if you go into like the education world, there's a lot of black teachers, especially females. These degrees that a lot of African Americans receive aren't always your STEM degrees. Not saying that any degree is less than another, but with that being said, you're the most highly educated because you go towards teaching and a lot of those, social worker, a lot of those degrees that you know what I mean. But I wanted to continue to read some of this. She said, I was raised to value my education and to be independent. I've since learned that although that wasn't a bad way to be raised, it wasn't very conducive with being a wife. Fortunately, I have taken the time to learn more about how to be a wife and what it takes to to have a successful relationship slash marriage. It has allowed me to be more calm and feminine because I'm not trying to control the situation at hand. I also learn more from the older black women who are married and other races of women on how to be more graceful and pose. She didn't say just black, she said other races as well. I don't have the attitude for no reason. I try to be respectful in the presence of a man. I don't look at myself as less than a man, but I value their contributions and the understanding that I can never replace a man. And this was great, 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 great. And it's something, people always ask me, Norris, why do you date outside your race? And like I tell people this all the time, being in a relationship with a woman outside of the African American race was the first time where I really witnessed someone truly loving you outside of my mother. My mother loved me to death. I was the baby of the family, all that stuff. But outside of that, being in a relationship with a white female, the sense of caring, the sense of love, the sense of like your clothes don't matter, your labels that you're wearing don't matter. The financial responsibility that you see more in interracial relationships. And this is just my opinions. I know you guys are going to kill it in the comments, but I want you guys to really understand that in our culture, it's just what that young lady said. You're being raised to get your education and be independent, girl, have your own. Don't never let a man control everything and all those things. That's not correct, guys. That's not correct, ladies. And this is what I always tell women when I used to talk to them about. Because men, we have to come to the table with everything for a woman to accept us. We have to have our own car, our own money. We got to have a job or a career, not a job. We have to be able to supply the things that you enjoy and you like. But the one thing that a woman lacks in most relationships is her being submissive. And that's something that you guys feel that we have to earn while we have to bring everything else to the table. And if you look at your role as a woman, especially from the word of God, you should be a submissive human being from the start. Your submission should not come with expectations or regulation. Your submission, uh, you save yourself for marriage or your abstinence. All those things should come along with you. Those aren't things that men should have to continue to earn or continue to do all these things to make you feel accepted or to make you feel better about yourself. And like I tell people this all the time, men, as we get older, our value goes up. All we got to do is stay in shape, keep our skincare routine good, stay edged up, go to the gym, stay educated, stay on point, continue to provide your own, and we're always going to be high value. Women, as you get older, you're going to age. And see, people think aging means like, oh, your face gets old or your skin gets loose. That's not what aging means. Aging means that, hey, if you're a 50, 60-year-old woman and you're single, you have to work on some things. And this beautiful light-skinned lady right here, I guarantee you that she's close to 50. Easily close to 50. I can tell by the sweater combination, turtleneck she got on. She's close to 50. But she has a beautiful skincare routine. She probably eats right. She takes care of herself. She's active. But with that being said, with her attitude and her thought process, even from this video alone, she will remain single. And if she's married, I guarantee that man is not a happily married man. So let's watch a little bit more of her video.
Fact, they have the highest divorce rate. Now let's dive in. I really think that one of the biggest reasons, as far as why that is because white women are willing to ignore the fact that their mate is racist. They're okay with having a relationship where they simply agree to disagree. So, of course, if someone being racist or homophobic or misogynistic is not a deal breaker for you, that's going to increase your opportunities.
And you see those things, especially in the African American community, men, you really need to listen. Look at the three things that she names: misogynistic, homophobic, racist. The three things that are dividing this world right now is the three things that she feel that African American women and the man need to have in common. This makes no sense. This makes no sense at all. The reason people date outside of their race is because people are tired of being experiencing insanity. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You get tired, especially, and this is me speaking from a man standpoint. I'm tired of women who want to look like everybody else in the world. I'm tired of everybody wanting to wear pandas. Everybody want to have the jeans cut up. Like, be yourself, be who you are. And this is my key to any male that's African American. If you're going to date outside of your race, I don't care if it's white, Hispanic, anything. If you're going to date outside of your race, make sure that person is not trying to imitate your race. because you're gonna fall into the same category as a black man dating a black woman because she's showing you that she wants to be on that side of the fence anyway. If you're gonna date outside your race, make sure that person is homegrown, white, Mexican, whatever. You know what I mean? And she should be making you sopapillas and all that stuff. You know, Mexican rice from scratch, real tacos, tortillas. You should be going able to go see the family. Got 50 deep in the house. That's what you should be seeing if you're marrying a Mexican or Hispanic. They stick together. You should be able to take your car over there when it gets broken down. You should be able to get the engine drop right in under the garage. Black guys, you dating a white woman, she should be wearing some Hey Dudes, some Blowfish. Uh, we can give them pandas today because pandas just that thing. Those New Balances, they got the bumpers on the front and the end of it. They look weird. They look like the bubblegum ends. Like, make sure they wearing stuff that fits their who they are, their personality. They come around you and they got the haircut like hers, or it's the bob, or they leave it alone, man. Leave it where you found it. If they hanging out and they want to play every game with all, hey, let it go. Telling you, telling you. But all jokes aside, I'm gonna tell y'all this regardless. Hold on, let me read one of these comments. It says someone who grew up in a non-black spaces and was in white sorority. You are very spot on. I don't agree with that. And it's weird that you would. Why would you? She looks black. Why would you be black and was in a white sorority? But anyway, with that being said, I don't think race has anything to do with this thing like racism. I don't think any of that stuff has to do with why people are dating outside of their race. I think the biggest thing now is the proximity of what we're seeing today. Back when I grew up, you know, a lot of people lived in their communities and all they seen were people who looked like them. And that's, you know, I went through my military 20 years in the military. You start to see different races. You start to see interracial couples. You start to see all these type of races out there, and you start to get curious. You start to see that you actually have more in common than you have different, and you know you build on that. A lot of times we date with what's in proximity of us. Like if you go into a corporate world, I guarantee you most black women who work in a corporate world that are around a lot of alpha white males, they probably are dating alpha white males because that's what ends up getting approached to them, or that's what they see as success, or that's the things that they see around them. That's everything's about proximity at the end of the day. But then the most important thing as you get older, everything is about what makes you happy. We have to continue to understand that love comes in so many shapes and sizes. But I always tell people my first time experiencing the love that I received from my mother was from somebody who was outside of my race, someone who loved me unconditionally, someone who accepted me for who I was, someone that I didn't have to we didn't have to travel to the islands, we didn't have to go on cruises, we didn't have to keep up with the Joneses. All that stuff happened when I started dating outside of my race. So call me Uncle Tom, call me whatever you like. With that being said, find somebody who loves you for you, and I guarantee you, you won't be focusing on their race. So again, with that being said, the most important thing is God loves you, which is most importantly, I love you, you're beautiful, and your boy's out. Let go.